G'day, Rich Hungerford here from Bushel, Australia once again. Listen, a lot of people have asked me to do a follow-up review of this little beastie called the Rhino tool. It's made by Hardcore Hardware Australia. It's made of D2 steel, tool steel, and it's got a multi-purpose sort of design capability built into it. Now if you look at the original review, you'll see that information and we'll go through it there at some length. I just wanted to close this out because I get the question still about how did it go. Well, I've had this for a couple of years now, and to be all honest, it isn't the greatest piece of equipment I've ever used. And I'll tell you why. Carriage system is good. Nice, short, compact, mollied on to the side of my gear, that's fine. In terms of survival utility, and this is where I've reviewed this tool from, as a survival tool, in the wilderness or in the urban and survival setting, would this cut the mustard? Okay, and some things it's good for, some things it's not. Let's start with the bad things first. First off, it's got this chisel nose machete edge here. Hatchet edge here. Now, this thing is too short in terms of handle length actually to be able to develop sufficient kinetic energy transfer into whatever it's cutting to be effective. There's not enough head weight in the upper part of the web of the system. Okay, and the cutting edge is only 1 inch, about 25 mil in length. Okay, so it just doesn't have enough penetration power to get through anything serious. Right, that's its downside. From a combative point of view, this thing is still effective at doing damage to a human being. That's one upside of that particular attribute of the design. The thing I've utilised the most on this, so the good sides are this hook, the Rhino nose or Rhino horn type hook is fantastic for digging, clawing, prying, all those type of things that you do in the bush. And that is what I've utilised it the most for. What I would have liked to be able to do is use more of the hatchet capability, so more of a traditional tomahawk type roll with a better design at the front end here. Okay, so it had a bit more weight, which I'm prepared to carry, that I could actually use it as a hatchet around the camp. So from a wilderness survival point of view, that bit sucks. This bit, fantastic. Okay. The other thing I use a lot in the field is the pry bar. Also good for digging, lifting logs, rocks. I've even used it on oysters to get oysters up. Really quite good. All right. The handle itself, if you're going to do a lot of work with this, you're going to need to wear gloves or modify the scales on this handle. Okay. The weight reducing gaps here they actually create blister points on your hands. That's one of the other sort of downsides, but that's a minor downside and easily overcome with gaffer tape, paracord, or anything else that you want to put on there. Okay. The thing that lets it down overall though is it just doesn't have the weight to get through stuff. Okay. If I'm getting into buildings and doors, great. This ratcheting across the top here works effectively to help pry things open. This is actually even good in those situations. It doesn't have the ability to pop locks by being able to push in at the snib and struck at the back because of the hook. Okay, but the hook does a pretty good job of doing that anyway. And then you've got a standard pry bar. Okay, nail puller, standard pry bar. Pry bar is the main thing. The nail pullers are just a nice to have. Okay, in fact, if anything, it weakens the prying capability of that end. So being able to lift and pull, pop and pull, pop and open, great for the urban survivor. That's pretty good use of that kind of design. That's my take on this tool. Would I carry it? It's hard to justify carrying this over just a good knife, good hatchet, and maybe a digging stick. But these two attributes have made it incredibly useful out in the field for the times I've used it as a digging tool. So that's my thoughts. Take it with a critical mind, like everything you should take with a critical mind. It's one opinion amongst probably thousands, and I hope it's of use to you. If you're thinking of buying one, then there's some information that might help you make your decision.